like this, or like that, like this, maybe like this, or like that, like this, maybe like this. Adobe has announced their set of AI tools called the Firefly. After seeing a little bit about how it works and what it does, I can only say, wow, Adobe. This is how AI tools are supposed to work. In this video, I'm gonna tell you about a couple of exciting new features that they're announcing, and also about some things that many people missed. But before we begin, AI is not a new thing for Adobe. Many years ago, they introduced something that designers like me who remember those days found truly magical. I'm talking of course about content-aware fill, something right now that you take for granted. You just smudge your brush over some object on a photo and boom, it disappears. You should think about Firefly a little bit like an extension of this. Sure, it does have a prompt-based image generator, but a single box to write a prompt, however complex it is not really the best way for creators to achieve the effect that they want. It is the most flashy way for AI presentation, but it's really not the most useful. It just kinda looks cool, so that's why most companies try to integrate it. The best thing about it though is that it's a mix of both AI power and manual work. You can, for example, paint over the clothes of the person and then with just one click, replace those clothes with something else. Like this, or like that, or maybe like this. You know what I mean. It also recognizes faces, so you can tweak things like how open are the eyes, or you can do what they call a polished smile, which looks a little bit like this. And this level of tweaking is what makes it really stand out, because you can make it very high level prompt based with just some areas changing based on the prompt, or you can tweak very small individual details. They're also promising generating vector icons from paper sketches, which can be super awesome for people making logos, or even multi-layer vector images. So you generate an illustration, but everything is on separate layers, so you can drag things around or just paint over it, add your own stuff to it and make it better. But the thing is that most people fail to notice that most of these advanced editing custom features are not going to be available right away. These are teased as the future of the tool, which means that most of the animations showing how that works, including the weather change in a video, which is super impressive but also kind of crazy, these are likely all rendered and pretend to actually work. It's all in the future, but if the future is gonna look like that, this is gonna be a very useful set of tools for graphic designers. For now, however, in the beta, we're getting two tools. One is a classic prompt-based text-to-image generator. What's different about it is that you have multiple styles, effects, filters, aspect ratios to pick from. So it's not as simple as what Midjourney does with just 4 examples and versioning of them. No, here you can actually specify quite a lot of different things, but still the generated image comes from a text prompt. So it is a little bit like Midjourney, but with an inspector toolbar with additional options and filters on the side. The second thing is text effects, and they seem pretty impressive, and many people are putting them on video thumbnails and in their blog posts and everywhere, because yeah, it looks kind of cool when you see some letters that look like bread or chocolate. But you know what's the actual use case for this? Almost none. Obviously, it's gonna be used in a couple of posters initially, and people are gonna be putting it on everything because it's so easy to generate. So we're gonna have an overload of weird breaded typography, or typography with animal skins, or typography in a cyberpunk technological style, or robotic typography. And after a while, you'll realize that even though the scope of what AI can do with these letters is pretty amazing, it all still kind of looks the same, and it's gonna get boring very fast. So I don't think this is going to be a particularly useful part of this suite. It just kind of looks cool, and it's a pretty good way for Adobe to market the product, but I wouldn't really focus on that. They also showed a simple graphics design generator, kind of similar to what Microsoft teased in their Microsoft Designer. So you can create simple birthday cards or invitations based on prompts and a little bit of tweaking. But of course, this is aimed more at regular people, not really designers, because they wouldn't be using these templates anyway. So in a way, Adobe is taking a two-pronged approach here. On the one hand, they're trying to add really useful tools for creatives to speed up their workflows and allow them to do really awesome things that normally would have taken days or weeks in hours. But at the same time, they're catering a little bit to the Microsoft Designer and Canva crowd, meaning there might be an Adobe app for non-designers to quickly generate some simple stuff like birthday invitations. And you know what also is good? The fact that Adobe is supposedly training this model only on free and open source images. So yeah, here Adobe is leading the way with ethical approach. Who would have thought? So even though I'm not really a fan of this brand, I think they did a wonderful job, and if it becomes what they're claiming that it's gonna be one awesome tool for graphics designers. So great job, Adobe. What do you think about Adobe Firefly? Let me know in the comments down below. Click on that subscribe button before it turns into chocolate, and obviously, have a beautiful day.